Hello. Hi. Hello. So we are back with another episode of Motivation with me, the podcast, and it's Finance Friday. So we will be doing different elements. And in that different elements, we're going to be talking about finances. So remember, I told you guys we were talking money, motivation, and more. So today, our topic is budgeting. I know you don't want a budget. You hate your budget. You don't stick to your budget. I completely understand. I completely understand. I do that sometimes. But for the most part, I do stick to my budget. I am very strategic when it comes to my budget and my finances. So, with that being said, we're going to start with writing down your income and expenses. So, a book I recommend is the Common Sense book, and that's Common Sense, CENTS. It is a wonderful budget book. I've been using it for 3 years now. I get one every year. And I've been through a lot of budget books. I've used a lot of them, but this one is by far my favorite. It's available on Amazon, and I think it's $20 on Amazon. And I think they have it at Barnes and Noble too, but it is available on Amazon. So I strongly recommend you get this book. It helps me with my budget. It helps me track my debt. It helps me track my even your gift list. It even has a section for gift lists or things that you may buy for other people or things that you have to buy. So it's a very good book. Now, to get into the topic of budgeting, it is very important that you have a budget. Whether you have a budget for your personal life, your business, you have to have a budget for everything, personal and business, especially personal. And you have to stick to your budget. Let me say that again. You have to stick to your budget. And also, just a side note, you also want to save. So you want to put savings within your budget. The way I do my budget is, well, your budget should always equal zero. So you want to write down your income, and then you want to write down your expenses, and then you want to subtract your expenses from your income, and you should get zero. Because you want to budget every penny. I know it sounds like super tedious, and you're like, but why? Like, why do I got to do that? Because you want to budget every penny of your money and you want to stick to it. So that way you already know what category you set your budget for. You already know your bills. And if you have most of my bills are already set to a certain price. Um, for those who didn't or who don't know, if you have Reliant, I can't speak for any other electricity company, but if you have Reliant, then you can do average billing. So I do average billing, and so my light bill is like $95 a month. So what it does is after I think either 6 months or a year, it takes all of your bills and it creates an average number, and that's how much you get charged every month. And so that makes it a lot easier. So even for my credit cards. So my minimum payment might be like 168, but I set it at 200 for both of my credit cards because I always pay more than the minimum payment, which is something that you want to do. And we're going to talk about that. So you always want to over budget. So if you know that, say for instance, your cell phone bill is 272.62, 273. Always round up when you're budgeting because you always it's better to be like under budget, or it's better to have like plan for more than it is less. So you always want to round up. Even if you add like even if you want to put 150. Oh, I'm sorry, 250. Or did I say 272 or 242? Child, I'm trying to base it off my own cell phone bill. But you want to round it up to either the nearest dollar or to the next hundred. So if it's 272, you can round it up to 300. It's better to over budget basically, and a lot more money for your bills. Same thing if you do fast food. See, my Lord, I need help because my enemy is coffee. My enemy is Starbucks. But I have since stopped spending so much money at Starbucks. I used to go to Starbucks every single day. I had to have Starbucks every day. But since I have moved and my bills are a little bit higher than they were, I had to cut back on some things. And so coffee is what gets me. Fast food is what gets me because I don't like to cook. I'm not a person that cooks. But you always want to the way to do that, the best method that I use, and this again is very tedious, but I promise you it will work even if you do it for a month. I write down every single transaction. So y'all remember back in the day when they had check registers? Well, depending on how old you are, you remember check registers where you would literally write down every transaction. That's me. I am she. I don't use a check register anymore. I used to, but I have the common sense book now, and it has like basically where you could take notes. And so I write down every single transaction that I make, every single one. I'm gonna say that again, single one, every transaction. So I categorize it between food, coffee, shopping, and miscellaneous. Because the thing about the common sense book that I love is it breaks down different categories from medical to household to, and you can add in your own to savings. You always want to make sure you put some aside for savings. You can do a percentage, you can do $20 a week. It's all based on whatever your income is. So you want to save what can fit your income. Do your bills first and then decide how much you want to save, but you always want to save at least something, even if it's just $20 a check or $20 a week or $20 a month. It doesn't matter, whatever fits you, because everybody doesn't have the same amount of money. So everybody's budget is going to look different. But when you write down each one of your transactions, like I said, even if you do it for a month, then you can see how much you spend in each category. So for February, with me writing down every transaction for those categories, if all of my shopping add up to $300 or 257, then I know, okay, what to budget for. Like the next month I'll try to under budget because that's telling me I'm spending too much. Like if I go over my budget, it's like, okay, you need to stick to your budget. So I'll adjust it accordingly. Like I'll put 300 for March if I know I spent 272 in February. As long as my end number is zero, then that's what matters. So you have to adjust it according to your finances. And with that being said, we are going to pause because I have something for y'all. Okay, so as you guys know, I like to shout out Black businesses. And since we are talking about finance, I want to shout out AV Winfrey. So that's Ashton and Vanessa, who are very good friends of mine. I went to college with them, and they are phenomenal people, and they have a phenomenal company called AV Winfrey. And AV Winfrey, my apologies, is basically they represent life after debt because they were able to remove all of their debt, and they went strategic budget, cut out everything. And if you follow them on Instagram at AV_Winfrey, that's WINFREE, then you will see like how they did it. You'll see the methods that they use. They offer consultations, they offer budget meetings, financial meetings, coaching on personal finance. They give feedback. They do a lot of wonderful things. They even have templates, like budget templates, and they have these cute little coloring sheets that I love, where they have one for credit cards, one for loans, one for savings, and you can basically color it and you can track like each month or each week how whatever amount you want to do. I absolutely love them and I love their products. They even have a computer background that you can use. Baby, let me tell you, it's on my computer right now. It's on my computer right now. So they represent life after death, and it's a personal finance consulting business. And together they aim to inspire others and to help others become aware of their financial situation and discover a budget to meet their goals. They are proud of the impact on our generation and others to remove themselves from a life of debt. Now, me personally, this one hit me. Okay, this one hit me because I know I'm in debt, and they have this thing called no spend days. So they'll pick a day where you can't spend any money. And I love no spend days because it holds me accountable. Usually if I'm not like I think one time they did it and I was going to Cancun, I was like, "Ah, I can't do it this time." But they have no spend days, which is very, very beneficial. So again, make sure you follow them on Instagram at AV_Winfrey, and they have all their information on there from booking a free consultation to their website, all of their products and things that can help you with your budget and your finances. So shout out to Ashton and Vanessa. Thank you so much for helping us with our budget, our finances, and for helping me personally and everybody else get out of debt. Okay, so another thing you want to do, a method that I am really big on, is use apps and coupons. I am the coupon queen, baby, when I go in Target, because Target is another one of my enemies. But when I go in Target, I scan everything to see if it's a coupon for it. People be laughing at me, like, my sister used to laugh at me about couponing and buying, like, no name brand, like, the store brand products and stuff when I went to the grocery store until she became an adult and realized, like, "Oh, now I see what she was talking about." Yeah, great value, baby. You better get that great value, okay? Ain't nothing wrong with it. It's the same thing, it just got a different name. You understand what I'm telling you? So use apps and coupons. You can pretty much do it anywhere. Family Dollar, Target, even on Amazon. Like try to buy a product that has a coupon on it or that may be on sale. And there's also an app that Ashton and Vanessa put me on called Fetch, and you can scan in your receipts and you'll get points, and then you can redeem the points for gift cards. So I will put my referral link in the description for Fetch, and if you do not have that app, I strongly recommend you get it. It's very beneficial. All you have to do is take a picture of your receipt. Like today I went to Randall's and I took a picture of my receipt and I got 300 points. So I think I have like 5,000 points, something like that. But you can get points and then you can redeem those points for gift cards, which is another way of saving because you want to have gift cards. Like, who don't love gift cards? I love me an old nasty gift card. You can give me one. If, if y'all want to send a gift card my way, my email is in the description if y'all want to send me an Amazon gift. No, I'm just kidding. But you want to use any apps or coupons that you can. Trust me, they are out there. You just have to look for them. There are plenty of apps you can use, all kind of stuff. Um, and again, if you follow Ashton and Vanessa, they give like tips and apps and all kind of stuff that you can use. They will definitely help you when it comes to finance and budgeting. I am an accountant. Um, and people think finance and accounting is the same thing, which it is essentially, but we're talking about two different degrees and two different education. Like, you can have a degree in finance or you can have a degree in accounting. Girl, you messing up all your words. Slow down. Jeez. But they're essentially the same thing. They just have kind of different methods. So you have finance and budgeting where it's kind of like, okay, I'm gonna set my budget, but then you have accounting where I take your expenses and subtract them from your income and figure out what your profit is or your loss. So I do like the second part of it. And I make all of my clients do a budget for their business because I do business accounting. Shout out to Evans Financial Solutions. You can consult with me or schedule a consultation at mirandaevans.com. And I do have tax tips on my Instagram as well, Elements of Me. So that's another thing. And then you need to remove small things from your budget. I know it hurt. I know it hurt. Okay, don't remove Spotify because that's how y'all listen to me. No, you can listen to me on iHeartRadio and Anchor. But remove small things. If you have subscriptions that you really don't need, then remove them. And especially if you're in debt. So I'll give you an example. I had a subscription where I was paying $5.41 a month for a Vlad TV membership on YouTube. And I was doing it just so I could see Boosie interviews like in full and not in parts. And then I realized, girl, you ain't even got time to watch YouTube. Why you got this membership? You could save that $5. So I saved that $5. I removed this small thing because that was like an extra $5 I could use on something else. But we in a recession, I couldn't use it on that much. But I could put something on it. I got 5 on it. Y'all know I gotta throw a joke in there somewhere. Which leads me to cutting back on fast food and outings. I know y'all want to be outside. Okay, we outside. I know you want to be outside. I know you fast food is another enemy of mine again because I don't cook. But if you, especially if you're in debt, again, you need to cut back on how much are you going out? How much are you spending on food? That's why when I track all my transactions, I have a category for food because I realize that is of the highest on my budget. Like legitimately, that's the highest is food. And so I had to cut back on food and I started cooking more. Cause I'm like, sis, you going to Chick-fil-A a little too much. Okay, calm it down. And again, every time they give me a total, I be like, dang, like I went to Taco Bell and spent $9. I was like, on what? McDonald's don't even have the dollar menu no more. It's like $2 and stuff like. And if you gonna do fast food, go during happy hour. If you gonna go to Sonic during happy hour. Again, coupon. Find the deals. Okay, go when you can, and they make coupons for fast food places too. Y'all better check y'all mail. Y'all be playing with them paper coupons. You better check your mail. So cut back on things like that. If you know you go out too much, you know you go to that hookah bar too much, you know you go out and be with your friends and buying drinks on drinks and shots on shots, paying cover charges and parking. Analyze that. I'm not saying you got to stay at home. See, me personally, I don't spend a lot of money on that stuff because I'm an introvert. So I don't go out as much. I'm not saying you got to stay at home. I'm just saying to pay attention and watch how much money you're spending on that. And so I want you to cut back, and then I want everybody to, as homework, because y'all know I give homework. I want you to sit down and I want you to write your transactions if you can, just for a month, or even if you do it for a week. And like I said, it sounds tedious, but I promise you it will help you with your budget. Write down your transactions and write down what you want your budget to be. Like, what do you want to save? What do you have to spend money on? You know you have to spend money on bills. You know you have to pay your tithes. You know you have to save. Like, always save because you never know what's going to happen. You know you have debt if you have debt like me. So I got credit card debt. So I have to write down that too. But I want everybody to write down their transactions and see what it is that you're spending the most money on. And whatever it is that you're spending the most money on that's not a bill, I want you to cut back on it. I know you don't want to. All that shopping, all that Amazon, that Ross. And I'm telling you what I know. Make sure you cut back on stuff that you realize that you're spending too much money on. Because we do what's called emotional shopping. I know I do it. I am horrible with emotional shopping. I will go and buy stuff that I know I don't need, like pens. Girl, you don't need no more pens. You got enough pens and pencils, tablets, planners, all kind of. I am horrible when it comes to that. Like, I never buy anything extravagant like shoes, clothes, necessities. I go and buy pens and papers and books and planners and stuff that I know I don't need. When I emotional shop, in phone cases, oh my god, y'all don't even want to know my addiction to phone cases. But try not to emotional shop. I know it's hard because it's like, but I'm emotional. Try to cut back on emotional shopping as well, because that is a thing and it is very real. So find you something else to do. Go find you something productive to do. Okay, instead of emotional shopping. And you don't want to burn that gas anyway. Stay at home and color or something. I love coloring. I just put that out there. But hopefully that helped when it comes to budgeting and finance. And again, make sure you guys follow AV Winfrey, AV_Winfrey on Instagram. Thank you, Ashton and Vanessa, once again. And also follow me on Instagram at Elements of Me, and Facebook, Miranda Motivates, or Elements of Miranda Evans. You can type in Miranda Evans anywhere and you'll see my businesses and websites come up. So thank you for listening to this podcast for Finance Friday, and I will see y'all. I keep saying that. I will talk to y'all in the next episode.